Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down the core arguments from a viral video by the Happy Wife School. Now, it presents a very direct and, for some, a pretty controversial take on the role of sex in marriage. So let's get right into what it claims. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down the core arguments from a viral video by the Happy Wife School. Now, it presents a very direct and, for some, a pretty controversial take on the role of sex in marriage. So let's get right into what it claims.
Okay, let's just start with the video's central claim. This one sentence, it really sets the stage for the entire philosophy, framing sex not just as an act of intimacy, but as a man's primary language for feeling loved and respected. So, this source kicks things off by establishing what it calls a primary need for men. It argues that to really understand the dynamic, you first have to accept that men and women have fundamentally different priorities inside a marriage. And they get really specific here. The claim is, if a man lists his top 3 priorities in a marriage, sex will almost always be on that list, and often right at number 1. According to this view, it's not just a preference, it's a core component of how he connects. So how does this contrast with a female perspective? This is where the source introduces what we can call the great disconnect, a difference it identifies as a major source of conflict in a marriage. And this slide right here, well, it illustrates the core problem as defined by the source. While sex is claimed to be in a man's top 3, the video suggests that for a woman, it might rank much, much lower. We're talking maybe number 8, 9, or 10, if it even makes her list at all. According to the source, this fundamental mismatch in priorities is exactly where many marital issues begin. So how does this whole disconnect actually play out? According to the video, it can lead to some pretty problematic behaviors. The source argues that this difference in priorities can give one partner a kind of unintentional leverage in their relationship. The source claims that because women often don't prioritize sex as highly, they may begin to use it as a tool for manipulation or control. The video goes on to describe women putting up these emotional walls, withdrawing from intimacy, and even treating their husband's needs as primitive or somehow wrong. And, the source notes this isn't just a pattern that develops years into a marriage. The speaker actually shares that she herself began putting up a wall around sex while she was still engaged, highlighting that this challenge can start very, very early on in a relationship. So, this all brings us to the next section, where the source completely reframes the issue. The argument shifts away from personal preference and moves into the realm of commitment, specifically the commitment made in the marriage vows. From the video's perspective, the marriage vow isn't just a promise of love and fidelity. No, it's presented as an explicit agreement to take on the responsibility of maintaining a sexual relationship, which the source considers absolutely essential for a healthy marriage. And this right here, this is a crucial point in the argument. The video asserts that after marriage, sex transitions from being a choice to a non-negotiable responsibility. It's framed as an integral part of the marital contract. This quote really underscores just how serious the issue is from the speaker's perspective. The source argues that a marriage cannot be healthy under 2 conditions: a lack of sex or sex that is performed purely as a chore, which it says just leads to a whole lot of resentment. So after defining the problem in the commitment, the video offers a path forward. The solution focuses on shifting the dynamic from one of obligation to one of mutual enjoyment. The proposed solution involves a 3-step mental shift. First, remember, acknowledge enjoying sex earlier in the relationship. Second, you've got to reframe it. Consciously stop treating it as a chore. And third, engage. Actively engage for your own pleasure, not just to fulfill a duty. The source really emphasizes this point. The key to the whole solution is for a woman to be present and enjoy the act for herself. When this happens, it claims, feelings of resentment or being used just disappear. So the outcome of this shift, according to the source, is a win-win-win. The husband feels loved and respected. The wife finds pleasure without feeling obligated. And as a result, the entire marriage is strengthened.
And that is the core argument from the Happy Wife School. It presents a very clear, and for many, a very controversial roadmap based on its view of gendered needs and marital responsibilities. And it leaves us with a final thought. What happens when partners in any relationship fundamentally disagree on a topic this important?
Audio Jungle.